Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to yet another episode of our Corporate Success Community Hall of Fame interview series. And this series is wherein we celebrate our silver stars. So, silver stars are those members of our community who have actually achieved that position of being a silver star by fulfilling certain criterias that we have laid out for them. And I really have a lot of gratitude and a lot of um, respect for all my silver stars because it takes dedication, efforts, consistency, and emotional investment to achieve this position here in the community. Today, we have Somita Seth with us. And before I go to Somita, I'd like to just give a quick introduction about Somita. Somita is she's from Bangalore, and she is a lawyer, but now she is a life transformation coach, and her passion, her inclination is towards emotional wellness, especially helping students to attain success through holistic growth model. That's awesome. And she has a dream to help people with emotional intelligence and emotional wellness and building that mental strength. So that's her mission and that's her vision. That is inspiring. So, without any further ado, let's go to Sumita and we'll know more from her. So, Sumita, first of all, thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much for being a part of this community. I'm really honored to have you. And congratulations on being a silver star. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's I just extend my deep gratitude that it is such a privilege to me to get connected with you, and I really wanted to give a special thanks to you because my association with the community is not a mere coincidence. Maybe the gods had the greatest plan for me to connect with you, because as people say that you have the day you born is the most important day in your life, but for me the day when you know your why is the day which is very crucial to me. So day when I got community connected with this community is a second birth, and I with no regrets can give a strong message to the people who is seeing it, that Alok sir's community is such a wonderful, it not only elevates you from all that things which are getting into pent up in your life, but it's something, the kindness is not his strategy, but it's a way of life, because the people do charity maybe for the name fame sake or ki kuch thoda punya kamale, but for him it's a way of life, and that is something which has really made me so intricate to connect with him. And the second reason, what I think, is there are two type of education over the period of years. There is one kind of education which teaches you how to earn your living, and there's a second type of education which teaches you how to live your life. And if you really wanted to know how to live your life, please get connected with sir's community. It is such so pretty, so beautiful to be a part of this community, and I'm completely blessed. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you very much for those kind words, Sumita. I'm intrigued and I'm curious to know um, that being a lawyer, Somita, and then transitioning to becoming a life coach. I would like to start from there, and then we'll go deeper. I have a lot of questions for you because so we'll go there. But what made you bring this shift from being a lawyer to being a life coach?
Yeah. The life coach itself was a very new term for me, and I think it is still new in India, as
Mm.
there is no awareness kind of a thing to work on your mental and emotional wellness. And since your mission, which I just thought of creating a mindful world, the people still doesn't know what does mindfulness actually mean. So for me, during art growing up times, there were very specific areas of being a doctor, engineer, lawyer, or those things. And as per your interest and as per your grades, you choose the subject, and that's how I got inclined towards the law. Frankly speaking, the law was never my inclination, because I was more inclined towards the research, and more inclined towards doing the research in my whatever I take it, I wanted to go deep into it, and the research was my key area. But I was fortunate enough to get a very wonderful, not a successful but eminent person in my life, and who by after completing my law, when I got associated with it, I think there was some seed of intention to help people in me. And
Mhm.
this particular lawyer, he's my uncle, and he's now no more. But he is in Rajasthan. He was the pioneer in bringing the public interest litigation, whereby if a person is not able to file a case and doesn't have an enough of money, then we can take a suo moto case and help that person. And the public interest litigation affects the generations to come. And this is how I have fought many public interest litigations in the High Court, and that gave me a very a sense of contentment to help people.
Yes.
And but after I got married and with the responsibilities, it was difficult for me to pursue this career because I have two daughters and no helpers towards my side, because my native was Rajasthan. And while growing up, there was a guilt, a kind of a feeling after attending, not able to give a good time to my daughters. And when they enter into the teenage, they were having a lot of emotional turmoils, and a lot of emotion issues were there in the schools, like bullying and all those issues. So that's where, and many of these people doesn't know what they actually want to do in the life. So that's how after COVID hit and I was not going to my firms no more, I started taking these self-help books and started understanding the real reason of life. And that's how I got so much inclined towards it, that I have turned my pain into helping people. Because even
Mhm.
I was since this platform gives me a very vulnerable to open up with my feelings, I just tell it that I love to share my emotions. And I, because as when you are sick, you go to the doctor to take a paracetamol, you have that awareness that you after taking a paracetamol you can quit. But when you're suffering from mental and emotional unwellness, you don't know where to approach for it. That awareness is completely lacking. And that is the foundation
Mhm.
for a person to grow it holistically. And when I was suppressing my emotion, it later turned out to be a disaster. So that's how I was so much wanted to help people, that since I have overcome my emotions and I have able to overcome and understood this perspective of mental and emotional wellness, as how important it is in any age and stage of anybody's life, I thought that I wanted to do a deep research into it and help the people so that they doesn't undergo what I went through it. So this is how
Awesome.
my
Awesome.
strong inclination towards change.
That's thank you for sharing this, Somita, because a lot of times it happens that life doesn't turn out as per your plan, right? Because you had a plan of being, studying law and being a lawyer, practicing in the high court and this and that. But then, as you said, that when you got married, everything just changed. And then things were not happening or things were not working as per your initial plan. And Somita, this is where I've seen a lot of people, when they see that it's a dead end now, they give up, you know, or they get into a state of depression, or they get super stressed and anxious कि अभी क्या करें, क्योंकि ये तो मैंने सोचा ही नहीं था. I was not anticipating this change, kind of a thing. But in your case, as per what you just narrated, what I realized is that, okay, if this gate is closed, let me look at some other gate, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि I will sit there and I'll just crib and complain, but you started looking out for different opportunities. And not just that, but things that you were dealing with. There's this beautiful statement. It is said that turn your mess into your message. And somewhere you turned your mess into message in terms of your coaching, right? Awesome. Thank you, Sumita, for that. Now, there's one more thing that you just mentioned. You spoke about your daughters, and then there's this guilt that you spoke about, and that word caught my attention. I would like to I'd like to go to this topic a little bit, because I think there'll be a lot of working women who would be watching this interview later on. Sumita, what I have seen is with a lot of working women, there is some kind of mother's guilt that comes into picture, because you are so busy with your work and stuff, you're not able to give time to your daughters, your son, your children for that matter, or maybe your family for that matter, and then you feel guilty about it. Do you feel that? Have you ever experienced that?
Absolutely, because when I was working at a Foxman law firm, and it was 9 to 7 job, and when I used all the time, I was not able to put my 200 focus neither in the office or nor at home, because of the tension. My kid's daughter was looking for it, and hence this guilt was very natural to me. But later, then I realized it that money is also the need of the hour, and your profession is also important. So I just started helping my elder daughter to understand that mommy will be available only this particular time, and I started giving the focus equally. But when my second daughter came up, it was really difficult for me, because it was I don't wanted my second daughter to be burden over my elder daughter. So hence I quit the job, and focusing on her in growing up.
Awesome, awesome. So what I understand is, number one is, you need to first convince yourself that this is also important. You just cannot feel that burden because of external, uh, you know external comments or what people have to say. Because many a times, women, I've seen this, that they start uh, they start secluding themselves, they start feeling as if they are not doing justice, only because people point fingers and say that, you should be focusing on your main job, you should be focusing on your duties and this and that, and that's where they start feeling that guilt even more. So from what you just said, I realized that, okay, number one is convincing yourself that yes, career is also important, profession is also important, right? And at the same time, having an open communication with your children, just to make them understand that why I'm doing this, that can bring some kind of peace and harmony. Yes. Awesome. Lovely, Sumita. Thank you very much for that. uh, I would like to ask you, Sumita, when it comes to mindfulness in particular, what brought you to this community? What brought you towards mindfulness? I mean, in today's, now, the reason I'm asking you this is because, today, आज का, ऐसा time है, you just open up social media, you get so many, posts, and you get so many advertisements and this and that. Why this community? Why did you connect with mindfulness and particularly this community? I'm curious.
Yes, mindfulness is like, when after, like, when the COVID hit, it was so difficult for me to take out my me time, because the moment if I'm doing some particular thing, there will be always a distraction, because everybody are under the roof doing some or other work, and to help to fulfill their need, it is very difficult. And I was having developing that sense that my time is slipping away from my hands. I'm not in charge of my emotion. I'm not in charge of my day. And what is bothering is my mind has started become wandering. It was just thinking from the past, and the future worries are keep on popping up, and I was not able to control my day. And then I just realized that, if you how there was so much of noise, at also at the same time, to live in the present moment. But actually, what is how to live in the present moment, nobody was speaking about it. We understood that, what I understood is mindfulness is give your 100% to what you are doing it, be in the present moment, and enjoy that it. But if our mind is continuously moving like a pendulum, and with lot of worries, lot of distraction, how to focus ourselves in the present moment? And I was keep on reacting with for the small small things. And then I paused it, and I just said that no, this is not the way of the life which I wanted to live it. And hence I this pause itself was so important for me, that helped me to connect with this community. Because if I that moment, if I didn't took the pause, and if I didn't ask myself, who am I, what I'm doing, what is the purpose of my life? Is it just I will dragging my life, fulfilling the needs and desires of every person? How should I take charge of my life? And that's why I understood that, how mindfulness plays an important role. And even today, if I'm doing a lot of multitasking, but if my daughter comes in between, I will pause my video, I will listen to her with eye and eye contact, And that gave us so much of contentment to both of us that within 5 minutes she get an answers and she moves away. So I'm back to my work. So
Awesome.
it's multitasking is that not you are not supposed to do 10 works at a time. You can do 10 works of the time, but whatever you are doing it, give your 100% to that. If I'm chopping the vegetables, my thought, my behavior, my action should be completely into it. I should not
Yes.
be in a guilt of oh, why I'm doing that, why I'm doing that. So if your energies are aligned and focusing in what you are doing it, and you know why you are doing it, that gives a lot of contentment. And that is why, but what to do about this wandering mind, because that is not helping me to work over it. And hence that give me a opportunity to join with your community, that I know that we need to live a mindfulness, we need to follow the meditation, we need to follow the mindful to keep our monkey mind in a calm position, but nobody was teaching how to do. So
Yeah.
this is the platform where I understood that there is a scientific proven method, step by step method, one thing at a time, that how you can be mindful by following these strategies. So
Awesome. Awesome.
this
You know, I really like the way you explained it, wherein you're, when you're talking to your daughter, you just take a pause and then you redirect all your focus and energy on her while you're chopping the vegetables. You beautifully said that. At that moment of time, I'm not guilty about, or I don't have regret that I'm not doing something else which is also important. And Sumita, this is what I've seen with a lot of people, that the stress, when we talk about stress comes from this fact that I have so much which is lined up. And what I'm doing right now, maybe this is not the right thing to do right now. I need to do something else. And this is wherein you are neither in the present, you are nor in the future completely. You are somewhere lingering in between. And your focus is like, मैं वो भी सोच रहा हूँ, मैं ये भी सोच रहा हूँ, मैं वो भी सोच रहा हूँ, मैं ये भी सोच रहा हूँ. And we are not able to give 100% in the task at hand. So, yes, thank you very much for sharing that. Yes, that, when whatever you are doing, you just park your 100% focus there, you do it, then you switch from one task to the other. Thank you. I think a lot of people will be able to understand mindfulness in the most simplistic manner the way you explained. Thank you for that. Having said that, Sumita, so if I have to ask you, like, on day to day basis, what are some of your favorite practices that you do, which is keeping you anchored, which is helping you to build your focus, which is helping you to stay calm, which is also helping you emotionally?
Yeah, the especially the prime practice which you have
Uh,
given before to prime practice, because I was still practicing this my smarty routine after the COVID, as I wanted to take the charge of my day.
what's that? What's that smarty routine? Can you just explain?
Smarty routine is SMARTE. So the Smarty,
Uh,
S stands for silence. So as soon as I wake up, earlier what I used to do is, as soon as I wake up, I used to rush towards my kitchen and start preparing the
mm,
tiffins for my daughters. But now, as soon as I wake up, I plan my day in such a way that I wake up a few minutes, a few hours before to everybody's needs. And as soon as I wake up, I sit in silence, and I just put an intention or a seed of intention how I wanted to cruise my entire day. And I just sit in silence. And then M stands for mind movie. I play a mind movie in my mind's eye that how I wanted to cruise my entire day.
awesome.
And then A stands for affirmation, what my life would like to be, what I want things in my life. I started building up the affirmations which are very much aligned to my value system. So it is not the sake of affirmations which people gives. I wanted to design my life on my own terms and condition. So my affirmations are basically based on that. So S stands for silence, M for mind movie, A for affirmation, R for reading. So I just can't start my day because the growth is my innate value, and I love reading it, because earlier during the time of my course books it was a burden on me, but now the reading has become so much passion that gives me an energy or vitamins or minerals, whatever you can say, to enhance my
Thank
mood and in a joyful and bliss state. So I take out 20 minutes time to read. And then T stands for gratitude, because I just write the gratitude in the morning itself, because for
So
such an
T is
awesome
thank you.
life. So T is for thank you and E for exercise,
Oh,
because
nice, nice, nice.
exercise also it's a very integral part of my life.
Oh,
So
lovely.
this Smarty routine gives me an anchor, but only after joining your community I understood that I was merely doing the exercise because we understand right from the childhood that exercise is so important, and I
Mm.
was doing yoga from past 7 to 8 years. But it was so surprising that I was skipping my entire breathing part from my yoga.
Um,
I was just doing the physical asanas. Only with joining your course, I understood the importance of breath.
breathing, yeah.
Throughout my life, whatever the years I was doing yoga, it was just a physical fitness. And in order to attain the physical fitness, you can do swimming, you can do badminton. There are various things, but yoga is the alignation of
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
with your mind, body, and soul. And that gave a aha moment to me. Your 5:8 breathing, that had given the scientific reason why we are doing what we are doing it. So I started focusing on my 5:8 breathing,
Mhm.
and that gave me a calmness. And after practicing this strategy, as you said, what helped you to, learnings which helped me, the breath work, because the breath is a connection of your mind to body. And we know that we need to be respond, not to react. So much of gyan is there
Yeah.
everywhere, but
Yes.
how to implement that gyan
Yeah.
is that breath. That pause has given me a lot of confidence that
Awesome.
yes, I too can respond. Because the pause or calm mind, I thought it is a karmic effect. If you are a sage in last life, it is so easy. Or some people, calmness is on their face. That is so easy for them. But what the
Yeah.
people like us, who though are not calm, but are in that curiosity to attain that calm. So if you see BK Shivani's face, how
Yeah.
calm it is,
Yes.
how her thought process are so sorted out.
Yeah.
And why not me? What is the difference between her and me?
Yeah.
And that curiosity led me to work more intensely on my breath work, and one step at a time. And after doing breath work, I'm so happy that my entire life changed. Now I'm not responding, and now I'm not reacting. I take a pause, I go, and a lot of strategies are given by you. So I tailor made according to my needs, what is working for me and what is
Oh,
not
wonderful.
working for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because and then I just understand the real meaning of breath only and only after attending your joining with your community, and that helped me to entire 360-degree transformation in my life.
Awesome. 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 That's really inspirational. Thank you, Sumita, for sharing that. Thank you very much. Sumita, I had this question that, when you spoke about your own coaching as a coach, you yourself are a life coach. Um, I was curious to know why inclination towards students? Like you have chosen your focus or your niche, if we may call it as niche area to be students. Why so?
Very simple, because my two daughters, I was after quitting my job from a
Yeah.
law firm, I was growing up my daughters, and we have been labeled that girls are more emotional and boys are not emotional. So and it is such a good point. It's they the boys are at a higher leverage to us when it comes to emotion. Ki girls ही रोती है, boys तो देखो कितने smart हैं and they control their emotion. But people are fail to understand, if
Yeah.
अगर boys
मर्द
के
को दर्द
emotions
नहीं
इतने
होता।
straight up होते, तो how could the BP and diabetes most of the males have? And
Yeah.
that is, and
True.
when I was growing up my daughters, they were also, when they're entering into the teens, they have some emotional issues every day coming from the school, they were penting up. Then I also suppressing my emotion right from my birth, childhood. And that has created a lot of disaster and friction in the family. And that is how I started understanding more on my emotion, that mere neglect, because emotion and feelings are the language of the body.
Yes.
And how the body is telling you, give me an attention, don't suppress me. Because the people will say, oh, ye rona dhona band karo, come back to the normal. And
Yeah.
they will a lot of the logic, but that logic simply doesn't fit us till we don't acknowledge. And in the Irish, I have studied a wonderful book which says about that in Irish people doesn't say that I'm sad, I'm angry. They say that right now the emotion of sadness is on me, and after
Mm.
some time, the emotion of happiness will also on me. So don't label me that I'm an angry person, don't label me that I'm a sad person. As clouds pass by. Nothing in this life is permanent. And so once if I did shown my anger, that doesn't mean that I am the angry throughout my life. Once I was in an emotional dip or in a low state of life, that doesn't gives me the shades that I'm a depressive person. And I will people will tell you to take a depression pills and all those things. So it was so beautiful for me that when you acknowledge, your body just need your acknowledgement.
Yes.
Just simply you have to close your eyes and just acknowledge your emotion, where you are feeling, what you are feeling, and the magic happens. So just understanding your emotions and feelings and how to manage your emotion and feelings, that's an emotional intelligence which has been so neglected by every person whom I met it, the CEO of Pepsi or whatever you can say. They are very good when it comes to IQ, but when it comes to you EQ, they simply don't know how to manage the emotions. So they will
Mm,
become addictive, either taking drinks or smoking, and they are making their tools to suppress their emotion. So
yes.
you need that emotional awareness at every house, to tell them that these are just the passing phases of your life, and seek help. Seek help, because we really don't know. Even if I get the awareness, I really don't know how to seek my help, because we need somebody to see from the bird's objective eye view, that how to trace our own path. And very beautifully said by everybody that when emotions are high, intelligence is low.
Yeah. Yes.
So when our intelligence is getting hijacked, then
Mm,
we really don't know how to handle those emotions. So
yes.
in that age and stage of life, we need somebody who can help us, who is non-judgmental, and to understand our feeling and help us to navigate through that part. And
Mm,
that's why I say with full of commitment, full of confidence, that I'm so blessed to get connected with you. So that the strategies and things which you have shared, it is up, it is to the next level. Because as I said you earlier also, a state of enlightenment is not that you are sitting at your highest pedestal and see the people under you struggling. A
mm,
state of enlightenment is that because we all go through many challenges in our life, and if we know what is the strategy and what are the pathways to understand those emotion and to how to navigate it, that is your power lies. So I've seen many calm people, ah ha ha, see, I'm so calm, I don't react. And you are react, it is your problem, your emotions are
yeah.
your problem. So
Yeah.
there was somebody to hold our hand and help us to understand that we all have challenges in our life. Some are able to go through that challenges because of
Mm,
helping environment people in their life, because as you told that you got mindfulness mentor when at a very early age of
yeah.
your life, and that's how when you were in your marketing and meeting the deadlines and targets, and how you were able to see that people are suffering a lot, and how beautifully you shift your entire MBA degrees and everything to
Yeah.
help the people. And that has attracted me so well that if Alok can do it, I can also leave my lawyer,
Awesome.
because जितना earn करना था law से कर लिया. Now I wanted to help people, because
Yeah.
as you said, emotional and your mental wellness is the foundation of your entire life. And even if Arjun can also suffered in Mahabharat and Krishna has helped me, then we are the mere tools. So
Yes. Yes.
that,
Awesome. Thank you, Sumita. Thank you very much. When you were talking about this emotion thing, that it's important for us to understand. I I just remember there's this beautiful poem by Rumi. The name of the poem is Guest House, uh, in which Rumi says that, you know, all our emotions are just like guests who come, who stay for some time, and then they go. They are not the permanent owners of the house. They're just guests. So you don't have to take them too seriously, and at the same time, you don't have to get involved with them too seriously. Just be an observer, and you'll be able to let them go. Awesome. Thank you, Somita. Thank you very much for that. So, uh, first of all, there are a lot of takeaways that I'm sure a lot of people would be, when they look at this interview, they'll be able to pick up from this. Before we end this uh, conversation, what would be what would be the message that you would like to give to number one, um, working mothers out there? Because you yourself are a working mother. What message would you like to give to them, especially for their own well-being, number one, and number two, in terms of parenting.
Okay. Okay. The most important is, having a structured routine and managing your own me time is very, very important, because if you are able to navigate your day, if you're able to take out, because emotional hygiene, as you have a different vaccinations for yourself to act as a shield in your life, similarly you have to have that emotional hygiene in your life. And as you like, very in a very simple analogy I can give, as we get up in the morning and go to the loo to dump out our excreta, similarly we have to dump out our thoughts. So
Mhm.
whatever thing is troubling you, please do emotional journaling, because you yourself become your wonderful coach when you do journaling, and you get a lot of answers when you do journaling. And if you can't able to do your journaling, at least seek help from somebody or vent out your emotions. Don't suppress your emotion, because more you suppress your emotion, it will come out in a more uglier way
Yeah. Mm.
later, and it will keep on troubling you. So maintain your emotional hygiene by doing your emotional journaling. It is very important. Do your breath work. It is a non-negotiable activity for me, because taking a pause at a frequent period of time itself is a therapeutic. So as soon as you pause, you are able to think in a calm mind, because as a present mind is a calm mind, and a calmness can only be achieved when you can take pause. And
Yeah.
how to take pause is just focus on your breathe, or make breathe as your anchor. You can make any other object also as an anchor, but breathe is something which we carry wherever we goes it. So as a mother, when I was having a guilt, I simply overcome it by delegating. So don't think about, give a second thought. If you are useful asset for the world, if you are important resource for the world, don't leave your passion just in the guilt of taking care of your
Mm.
children.
That's
Because
important. Yeah.
it's so important, because if because other work, your cooking or other your household chores can be delegated, but your thing which God has given you, a beautiful golden key which only you can do it, you can't delegate it. So serve the world, work on your skill set, and keep scaling yourself. And whatever you do, you should be not doing for the sake of status symbol, but it should be aligned to your value system.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that is so important, because I know in this world people respect your doing rather than being.
Yeah.
Because I have seen the two phases of my life. When I was working in the law firm, I was getting a lot of respect. The momentary phase when I was at home and just focusing on bringing up my daughters, I was not getting respected, and I was, because no matter how kind I could be, no matter how a wonderful person I could be, but people were not respecting, because till you are working, till you are earning money, the people were respecting it. So your being is also so important, because do anything or everything which you do in your life, it should be aligned to your core values, it should be aligned to your value system, because then you know the real reason of why you're doing it what. And then there is no contentment, and then there is no thought कि people क्या लोग क्या सोचेंगे, because सबसे बड़ा रोग is क्या कहेंगे लोग. So
Yes.
if you are very confident in what you're doing it, then nothing like that, and that gives you a real contentment. And as you
Awesome.
said, your pain get lessened when you help and contribute to the world. क्योंकि अपने लिए आकर अपनी family के लिए अपने लिए तो सभी जीते ही हैं. But if you uplift one person's mood and emotion through you, that is a real serving of the world.
Awesome.
That
Yes.
is my mission. As your mission is to create a mindful world, my mission is to create a kind and compassionate world, so that
Awesome.
people can not become judgmental, but they just connect with you, and feel blessed. And that is what my mission is, to
Awesome.
create a kind and
More,
compassionate world.
more power to you, Sumita. And I'm sure you're going to do wonders. You're already doing that, and have a lovely, 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 mission ahead, your journey ahead. And I'm sure a lot of people will be connecting with you in the coming days and months and weeks and years for that matter. Awesome. So here we come to the end of this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, so this was Sumita Seth for you, one of our silver stars. In our next interview, we'll have one more silver star from our community. And I'm sure you took a lot of notes from this interaction. If you want, you can go through this over and over again because there are a lot of nuggets that you can pull out from this conversation. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next interview episode. Till then,